Kicked out by her greedy stepmom, she inherited an old cabin, then found a secret vault. Rain hammered against the windows of the small house as 22-year-old Lily Harper stood frozen in the hallway. A suitcase sat at her feet. Her stepmother, Vanessa, folded her arms and smirked. "You heard me. This house belongs to me now." Lily stared in disbelief. Just 3 weeks earlier, her father had passed away unexpectedly. She was still struggling to accept the loss. Now she was losing her home, too. "Dad wanted me to stay here," Lily said quietly. Vanessa laughed. "Your father left debts, not gifts. Besides, I have plans for this property." Lily looked around the house she had grown up in. Every room held memories. Birthday parties, Christmas mornings, movie nights with her father. Now she was being pushed out like a stranger. "You can't do this." "Oh, I can." Vanessa opened the front door. Cold wind rushed inside. "Leave." The single word hit harder than the storm outside. Lily grabbed her suitcase. No arguments. No tears. Not in front of Vanessa. She stepped into the rain and walked away. Behind her, the door slammed shut. The next few days felt like a blur. She stayed in cheap motels, searching for jobs and apartments she couldn't afford. Her savings were disappearing fast. Then a phone call changed everything. "Miss Harper?" a man's voice asked. "Yes." "My name is Robert Green. I'm an attorney handling the estate of your late grandmother." Lily frowned. My grandmother? She barely remembered her father's mother. She had died years ago. "There appears to be a property left in your name." "A property?" "An old cabin in northern Montana." Lily almost laughed. "A cabin? That was hardly life-changing." But Robert continued. "Your grandmother specifically requested that ownership transfer to you on your 22nd birthday. That birthday had been 2 weeks ago. Suddenly, Lily had somewhere to go. 3 days later, she arrived. The cabin stood deep in the woods, surrounded by towering pine trees. It looked ancient. Weathered boards, broken shutters, a sagging porch. One corner of the roof looked ready to collapse. Lily sighed. "Well, Grandma, you definitely weren't hiding a mansion." For the first time in weeks, she laughed. The sound echoed through the trees. Inside, things weren't much better. Dust covered everything. Spider webs hung from the ceiling. The furniture looked older than she was. Yet something felt comforting. Warm. Almost welcoming. As though the cabin had been waiting for her. While cleaning, she found a faded photograph. A younger version of her grandmother stood beside the cabin. Behind her was a smiling man Lily didn't recognize.
On the back, someone had written, "Never forget where we hid it." Lily frowned. Hid what? She turned the photo over several times. Nothing else. Strange. That evening, she sat near the fireplace, eating instant noodles. The situation was ridiculous. A week ago, she had a home. Now she lived in a falling-apart cabin in the middle of nowhere. Still, it felt better than living under Vanessa's roof. As flames danced inside the fireplace, something caught her eye. A loose stone. It looked different from the others. Curious, she knelt beside it. After several attempts, she managed to pull it free. Behind it sat a small metal box. Her heartbeat quickened. Inside was a yellowed envelope. Written across the front were 4 words. For Lily. Only Lily. Her hands trembled. Before opening it, she looked out the window. The forest was dark, silent, watching. And for a brief second, She could have sworn she saw someone standing between the trees.
A tall figure, motionless. Then lightning flashed. The figure disappeared. Lily slowly turned back toward the envelope. Whatever was inside had been hidden for years, maybe decades. She carefully broke the seal and gasped at what she found. "Tell me, where are you watching from? I'm curious to know." Lily stared at the contents of the envelope. Inside was a handwritten letter, a map, and a small brass key. Her grandmother's neat handwriting covered the page. "If you are reading this, then life has probably become difficult. I always believed you would find your way here. Trust nobody until you learn the truth." Lily swallowed hard. The letter continued. "There is something hidden beneath this property. It belongs to our family. Others will try to take it. Follow the map." A chill ran through her body. Others? Who? She studied the map carefully. It showed the cabin, a creek, a large boulder, and an X marked deep within the forest. At sunrise, Lily packed a backpack and headed outside. The woods felt different now, less peaceful, more mysterious. Every snapping twig made her glance over her shoulder. The map eventually led her to an enormous boulder covered with moss. She searched around it for nearly 20 minutes. Nothing. Frustrated, she sat down. That's when she noticed strange markings carved into the rock. 3 arrows, pointing downward. Lily pushed aside thick brush near the base. Hidden beneath it was a rusty metal hatch. Her pulse jumped. No way. Using all her strength, she pulled it open. A narrow staircase descended underground. Darkness swallowed everything below. This is either the greatest discovery of my life or the beginning of a horror movie. Her nervous laugh echoed down the tunnel. She switched on her flashlight and carefully climbed down. The staircase led into a small underground chamber. Old wooden shelves lined the walls. Boxes sat untouched beneath layers of dust. At first glance, nothing seemed valuable. Then Lily opened one. Inside were stacks of documents. Property deeds, business contracts, bank records. Hundreds of them. Most carried the same signature. Her grandmother's. Confused, Lily continued searching. Then she found another box. Inside were newspaper clippings. One headline immediately caught her attention. Local landowners swindled by real estate tycoon. Another. Families lose property in fraud scheme. And another. Investigation abruptly closed. The same name appeared repeatedly. Richard Bennett. Lily's eyes widened. She recognized it. Vanessa's maiden name. Her stepmother's family. Her grandmother hadn't hidden treasure. She had hidden evidence. Evidence of crimes stretching back decades. Suddenly, a loud crash echoed from above. Lily froze. Someone was outside. Slow footsteps crossed the ground overhead. Her flashlight trembled. Another sound followed. Voices. At least 2 people. They were here recently. We search everything. Lily's heart nearly stopped. Someone had followed her. She quickly turned off the flashlight. Darkness surrounded her. The voices grew louder, closer. Then she heard a name. Her name. Lily Harper has the documents. The speaker sounded angry. Find her before she understands what she's holding. Fear surged through her body.
These people weren't treasure hunters. They wanted the evidence, and they knew she had it. She remained perfectly still. Minutes felt like hours. Eventually, the footsteps moved away. Only then did she dare breathe normally. She grabbed several folders and hurried back toward the stairs. The moment she emerged outside, she ran. Branches scratched her arms. Roots nearly tripped her. She didn't stop until the cabin appeared. Safe. Or so she thought. As she approached, something felt wrong. The front door stood open. She had locked it. Another sound followed. Voices. At least 2 people. They were here recently. We search everything. Lily's heart nearly stopped. Someone had followed her. She quickly turned off the flashlight. Darkness surrounded her. The voices grew louder, closer. Then she heard a name. Her name. Lily Harp. Slowly, she stepped onto the porch. The cabin was silent. Too silent. Inside, furniture had been overturned, drawers emptied, cushions slashed. Someone had searched every room. Panic tightened her chest. Then she noticed a note resting on the kitchen table. 3 words. We know now. Lily backed away. Her hands shook. Whoever was after the documents had already found her, and they were getting closer. As she turned toward the window, headlights suddenly appeared through the trees. A black SUV rolled slowly toward the cabin. Then another, and another. Lily watched in horror as the vehicle stopped outside. The doors opened. Several strangers stepped out. One of them held a photograph. Her photograph. And standing among them was the last person she ever expected to see. Vanessa. Smiling. Lily ducked below the window. Her heart pounded so hard she could barely think. Vanessa was outside. And she wasn't alone. The group spread across the property. Flashlights swept through the darkness. They're here somewhere, one man said. Vanessa crossed her arms. Search the cabin first. Lily knew she couldn't stay. She grabbed the folders and slipped through the back door. The forest swallowed her. Cold air burned her lungs as she ran. Behind her came shouts. They had seen her. There she is! Branches cracked. Footsteps thundered. Lily raced toward the underground chamber she had discovered earlier. It was the only place she could think of. When she reached the hidden hatch, she climbed down and quietly pulled it closed. Darkness surrounded her once again. The voices passed overhead. For now, she was safe. As she waited, her flashlight landed on something she hadn't noticed before. A metal symbol carved into the far wall. It matched the shape of the brass key from her grandmother's envelope. Curious, Lily approached. There was a tiny keyhole hidden beneath years of dust. Her pulse quickened. She inserted the key. Click. A deep rumble echoed through the chamber. Part of the wall slowly shifted aside. Behind it was another room. A secret room. Lily stepped inside. Rows of shelves lined the walls. Locked boxes, old journals, ledgers, photographs, and in the center stood a massive steel vault door. She stared in disbelief. Her grandmother hadn't hidden one secret. She had hidden hundreds. Inside the vault were stacks of gold coins, rare collectibles, jewelry, and investment certificates worth millions.
Lily gasped. The treasure was real after all. But what caught her attention most wasn't the wealth. It was a leather-bound journal sitting on top of everything. She opened it. The first page revealed the truth. Decades earlier, her grandmother and several local families had been cheated out of land and businesses by powerful investors.
The fraud had destroyed countless lives. When authorities refused to act, her grandmother secretly collected evidence. She spent years exposing every transaction, every lie, every stolen property, every bribe. The documents hidden throughout the cabin proved everything. And the treasure? It wasn't stolen wealth. It was the fortune her grandmother had spent a lifetime protecting from the people who wanted to erase the truth. Tears filled Lily's eyes. For the first time, she understood. This inheritance had never been about money. It was about justice. Suddenly, another sound echoed above. The hatch opened. Someone had found her. Flashlight beams cut through the darkness. Vanessa's voice followed. "You can stop hiding now." Lily stood still. Then she smiled. Because she had already emailed copies of every document to multiple reporters, attorneys, and federal investigators using the cabin's satellite internet earlier that evening. Vanessa stepped into the chamber. "So you found it. You lost." Vanessa laughed. "No, you did." But her confidence disappeared when Lily held up her phone. Several new messages had arrived. Investigators, journalists, attorneys, all confirming receipt of the files. Vanessa's face turned pale. "What did you do?" The truth. For the first time, Vanessa looked afraid. Within hours, authorities arrived. The evidence was overwhelming. Investigations reopened. Properties stolen decades earlier were traced. Financial crimes resurfaced. Several members of the Bennett family faced charges. And Vanessa's role in recent intimidation efforts quickly became clear. Months later, the story made national headlines. The forgotten cabin became famous. Families received long overdue compensation. Corrupt secrets finally came to light. As for Lily, she restored the cabin. The broken porch was rebuilt. The roof repaired. The rooms filled with warmth and laughter once again. One evening, she sat outside watching the sunset paint the mountains gold.
The same photograph she had discovered on her first day rested in her hands. Now she knew what the message meant. Never forget where we hid it. It had never been about hiding treasure. It was about hiding hope until the right person arrived. And somehow, that person had been her. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like and subscribe for more emotional mysteries, hidden fortunes, family secrets, and life-changing discoveries. What would you have done if you found that secret vault? Share your answer in the comments below.